Stetson Bennett is going to go down as one of the best big game players in college football history. There's not many guys that can say that they've won a couple of national championships. Leinart can say it. What is it? A.J. McCarron. I know people claim that like Tebow won 2 national championships, but really, if we're honest with ourselves, Chris Leak won one of those as the starter. Not a lot of people, not a lot of quarterbacks have won 2 national championships. And so we are forced to at least talk about Stetson Bennett's place in college football history. I think that's incredibly difficult to do. What do we do with Stetson Bennett? I think it's one of the more difficult conversations that I can remember in the sport. Because how often is it that we get a guy like Bennett that's right place, right time for a roster and a coach in a time in college football where he's able to win 2 national championships, and yet none of us believe that he would win a quarterback battle over, frankly, any of the other top 5, 6 players in college football currently, or any of the other Georgia quarterbacks from the last 10 or 15 years. Do you honestly believe Stetson Bennett would win a quarterback battle over Aaron Murray? I don't. Do we honestly believe that Stetson Bennett would win a quarterback battle over Justin Fields even? Do we really believe that Stetson Bennett would win a quarterback battle over Matt Stafford? No. And yet, he's going down as the most successful quarterback in Georgia history, period. One of the most successful quarterbacks in college football history. This guy's never getting in the College Football Hall of Fame, and it's just an incredibly difficult placement in the history of our sport. Like, do I think he's a great player? No. I know that sounds abrupt and frank, but I don't. I think he played really quality ball with a great team in key moments. And by the way, I'm not trying to minimize him at this point. I'm just saying, like, it's a tough placement. It's a really tough placement. And this guy is going to be a legend in Georgia circles forever, and rightly so. And this guy, has been huge in some of the biggest moments for a really storied program at the most important position. And that should not be minimized. But I think it's really difficult to start talking about, like, is Stetson Bennett one of the best players in college football history? No. Is he one of the best players in Georgia history? No. He's one of the most successful. He's the most successful quarterback to ever don that uniform. Period. But, like, he's not Herschel Walker. He's not David Pollock. Those guys were 3-time All-Americans. So, like, it's just really, it's really tough. And now we're faced with this question of, like, how important is the quarterback position in college football? See, I would argue that it's paramount. And yet Georgia is trying to prove me wrong. The last 2 quarterbacks to win national championships, the last 2 quarterbacks to win multiple national championships, A.J. McCarron and Stetson Bennett. Like, do we think they're even in the top 10 of quarterbacks in college football in the last 10 years? Probably not. But that doesn't minimize what they were able to accomplish in terms of the success that they led their teams to. All right. It pays dividends to be a great leader and to play within the system and to do all the things that Bennett was able to do in big moments against great teams. And let's not forget, the guy is ancient, right? So, like, he's 25. I mean, it's still wild for me to think about the fact that he's 25 years old. Him and Hendon Hooker are, like, they're borderline retired already. So it's just a fascinating case study. Stetson Bennett, You had a wonderful career. You will go down as the most successful quarterback in Georgia football history, but it's still a very difficult placement in terms of where do we place him amongst the legends of the game. That's just it's hard to include him. It's really hard to include him, even with some of the numbers that he was able to put up in this national championship game.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.